our YouTube special, the Employee Journey series with PromptCloud. Firstly, thank you for making time for this. In this episode, we will listen to the voices of leaders across multiple domains, share our views on working in niche sector, and discuss our future of working remote and going 100% remote for almost 2 years now. But before we get started, let me introduce our guest for today's episode, Parvesh Prakash. He works as an assistant manager of HR and operations. He has been associated with PC for over 2 years now. He has studied HR management at IIM Kozhikode and has many other certifications in recruiting space. He is definitely our go-to person at work, but I personally know him as the most sorted and the coolest recruiter in this domain. I met him last during our annual meetup held in Goa, and we are glad to have him on board. I am Shruti, your host for this episode and a content manager at PromptCloud, or as we call it, PC 2.0, after we switched to a complete remote setup. Here in this session, I have a couple of questions to ask Parvesh regarding his journey so far, to get a glimpse into his work experience. But mostly, I'm looking forward to having an amazing conversation with him. So, welcome again, Parvesh. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Shruti. Thanks for having me here, and thanks for the great introduction. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking.
Great.
All right, so let's get started. Since you have worked with multiple roles within recruitment, entailing a lot of numbers, creativity, and technology, how does it feel to handle responsibilities? Tell us about your journey before you joined PromptCloud.
All right. So first of all, I feel so blessed to have landed in the profession that I always wanted to be in. I was actually inspired by my own sister who was taking a career transition from technical background to HR domain. So I was very clear even during the graduation that I wanted to get into a human resource department. And after my graduation, I placed in a company or a staffing firm called Role Jobs Technologies and worked there about 5 years and had to wear different hats at different times and started as a sourcer, then into domestic and then global recruitment, client management, seasonal business development activities, and then career, training training and mentoring peers. So I had also got the opportunity to work with startups to the leaders across the globe. And in fact, I was trained by Mr. Roland Paumani, who was the CEO of Roll Jobs. And in fact, he played a major role in shaping my career in early beginning. And right now, I'm with PromptCloud. We call it PC 2.0 now. And it's been 2 years and 1 month now, and still counting.
Amazing, good to know. I'm truly fond of this remote setup as well, and then I like the name PC 2.0. It totally sets the tone for what we are doing right now.
True that.
Okay, so tell us about your takeaways from our recent meetup in Goa.
Oh, it was an amazing feeling, getting to know, meeting everybody in person and getting know them personally. And bonding is one of the key takeaway have from the recent meetup. And predominantly, I was also into enabling the meetup. Um, I was closely working with the management leadership team along with our task force and Catherine. So it was really a great experience, in fact, working with them. The kind of enthusiasm or the effort and the time which they spend in designing each session, which is core aligned to our the core values and the desired behaviors and the culture. Uh, it was really an amazing experience. I would say, I don't think no other companies would so put so much of effort in designing and executing the entire meetup. So I think at the end of the day, when I see with the people are more connected, the people are more bonded, and the entire outcome, of the entire meetup was really successful. So
It was definitely successful. I had so many takeaways. I met everyone in person, and definitely it has improved the bonds that we share with our employees today versus what it was when we were seeing each other in the small tiles on the screens every day.
Right. The small tiny boxes which is in the
Yeah,
Zoom or the Gmeet, right?
true,
Meeting them
true,
in person, yeah, that was truly, honestly, it was really great experience. In fact, the
absolutely.
kudos goes to the entire management and the leadership team because without their effort, we couldn't have been ever possible. And looking forward for many more meetups in the coming years.
So am I. Okay, so getting time for personal activities, pursuing your interests, and also crafting a healthy routine seems to be a playing big role in our core value, which is responsible flexibility. What are your thoughts on our work-life blend? How are you making the most of this remote working setup that we are currently in?
Um, Absolutely. Honestly, I enjoy working with PromptCloud, and because I really get the real blend of having a personal and the professional life, and I'm able to take along with that together without compromising anything. Let's say, for instance, I have some home errands, or I have some appointments, or maybe some guest came at home. I don't really have to take an entire day off. Probably I could take some few hours break, and I can always come resume after finishing my entire work. But just to ensure that there is nobody's hanging around just because of that, ensure we set the expectation with our team that about availability, and maybe delegate your work with somebody else, and we are done. And so I really enjoy working with PZ. I mean, wherein other companies talk about the culture, but when you really feel that, really, it's really great. And I'm happy. I'm really, really happy working with PC.
I totally agree. Communication is the key, right? If you are able to communicate, then most of the things are sorted, especially when you're in a remote setup.
True. In fact, even it doesn't matter that where you are or the number of hours you worked in. Probably the it really matters is what the work or which you brought to the table, right? So basically, it's not the quality of the work really matters here. And in fact, everybody enjoys working or making use of this facility. In fact, you're one of the person that who keeps traveling, across the globe. So
True. I mean, we can do that too, and also it's amazing to be a part of a culture like this. I think. Uh, yeah. All right. So I remember taking a predictive index test during my interview that assesses personality traits, cognitive and analytical skills, and behavioral tendencies to build employee relationships. How different is it from the preliminary tests conducted by other companies?
um, first of all, at PC, the people takes the front seat, so the culture, and along with the business. So we used one of the tool as predictive index, so which helping us to assess or understand the people over the capabilities, and helping us to precisely pick the people who has a capability to uphold our uh, core values, decide behaviors in the culture, and the kind of environment we're trying to build in over the last 2 years. We're trying to on the EVP or in the culture front, uh, which was we strongly we've been looking into it, and we're quite successful in that range. If you really look at maybe other companies, since being in HR domain, we used to be connected with the in other organization or the so what I could really gather, I mean, you also can see, feel it, right? So right now, most of the companies are really understanding. No, the workplace or the culture really makes a lot of difference. Not only the monetary gain, the people or the employees are looking at, uh, along with the monetary, they are also looking at a great work culture to experience. At the end of the day, if you make a lot of money and if you're working in a sophisticated environment, nobody will be happy. Will you be? So
True.
uh, most of them, I could see, most of them is coming forward rather than the usual aptitude test. Most of them is coming with culture rounds and started investing tools like the predictive index and trying to focus on building the culture. So it is great to see that most of them is really coming forward as we do. So
True, and then I kind of see we implement this in our monthly meetings as well, that where we talk about the survey and the test results, and try to analyze how is it that we can best work with our colleagues, understand their personality, and understand our personality and the way we work as well, to kind of get the best results that we can, that we keep
right.
getting.
Exactly. So that system gives you a glimpse about your personality or your behavior aspects, and it also give you a glimpse about your relationship with your peers or the manager, and also gives you maybe helps you in training you to grow into a manager uh, level training as well.
True. Um, All right. So, does remote setup help to control and excel at unbiased and clean functioning of the workplace? For example, in an office setup, we can see employees cocooning in a familiar group that creates a certain level of bias during IJPs, like internal job postings, and giving salary hikes. How different is the setup that we are currently in for almost 2 strong years now?
Shruti, I'm sorry that I don't completely agree to the statement because be it in a remote or be it in a physical office setup, everybody has the same issues. And at PC, in fact, we don't have any issues so far, as rightly said before. The kind of people around we are and about the culture which we are building, so which really maybe I would say really implies or affects that in the profile, what we are right now, and the process which we have built in over the last 2 years, and really helping is more of ease environment. Uh, be it if you, for example, for an instant, we talk about the uh, performance improvement, sorry, the performance appraisal cycle, or be it IGP, everything is transparent. So even before the performance appraisal cycle, we trigger the reviews. When we trigger the review, your basically your carries and KPIs, you'd be able to take a review on the an individual and the peer and the manager and the manager's manager. So everything is transparent. Once the manager's taken the review, you're able to see in the system and what the managers has given the review. So it's not the maybe somebody has taken or evaluating your performance in the backend. So it's available to everybody. And even the IGP process, where we have any positions open, we always try to give an opportunity the our existing employees first, and only then we go or publish the job posting outside. Wherein if anybody takes the opportunity or probably go through the interview process, we ensure that even after the interview process, they give the timely feedback. If they are not able to clear the interview, we give them a feedback. Okay, this is what happened, and this is the area which you need to focus on, and they can really work on on this particular aspect, and they can come again and apply whenever we have the positions open internally. So right from every process, it is transparent. So far, it's everything is great, and we don't have any issue so far. And having said that, the right people around and the culture and the process, which the policies which you've already built in, it makes everything at ease.
All right. So, like you said, culture and process makes all the difference. Doesn't really matter if we are in a remote setup or going to work physically every day.
True that, and definitely along with the right people around.
Yes, of course. All right. So, one word that defines PromptCloud.
All right. So I would call it as a people first company. In fact, as I said earlier, the people comes in the front seat along with the business. So I think that would be the right term that I would always wanted to target for.
All right, amazing. Your message to the future employees.
Um, I would say if you are looking for a challenging role in a company where or the company help you grow and holistically, which means personally and professionally, without compromising your work-life balance, PromptCloud is the right company. Come and join us.
That's a lovely message, Parvesh. So that's all. That's all we have for this session today. It was a pleasure talking to you, and thank you again for making time for this.
Thanks a lot, Shruti. Thanks for your time too. Lovely talking
Okay,
to you.
you're welcome, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much.